Golden Truth, Episode 5. We're talking the NFL Combine, NFL Free Agency, Calvin Ridley being suspended from the league, a bunch of NFL crap. Take a listen, sit back and relax. Golden Truth starts now. Yo, what is up, guys? Oscar here, your host of the Golden Truth podcast. As stated in the cold intro, we're going to be discussing the NFL Combine, some highlights, the quarterback. We're going to be addressing quarterbacks in that combine, such as Desmond Ridder, Malik Willis, Kenny Pickett, and so much more regarding those guys. The quarterbacks is what really piqued my interest. Once Aaron comes in here, and yes, if you have noticed, no interruptions of my intro. He's running a little late. I'm running a little late because I was experimenting with something. So yeah, that's one thing. Another thing that's coming up on this episode: free agency. We're gonna be discussing free agency with that due to start in a little over a week, rather said. Also, some new additions to the topics today. We're going to be discussing Calvin Ridley and him being suspended for the year from the NFL. We're going to be discussing that along with, I guess I can cover it on my channel here, Amari Cooper potentially being released along with Demarcus Lawrence. Dallas being in debt. So that's what's all coming up. But I do want to let y'all know something. I'm not just live on straight up YouTube. I'm actually live also on Twitch. So make sure if y'all are watching both on YouTube and Twitch, you put those comments in there in the chat. I'll monitor them as best I can. So I'm excited to multi-stream across different platforms. I decided to gamble and try using Twitch for streaming a live stream that has nothing to do with video games. But let's see how it goes. So I would greatly appreciate it if you guys would participate in the chat if you guys are watching on Twitch or also on YouTube. But also make sure you hit that sub button while you're in here. Make sure you also give me a thumbs up. And also share this stream or all my other videos with friends and family. So with that, let's go ahead and let's get started with this live stream. Hopefully I'm waiting for Aaron to let me see if I can pull up the chat here. Here we go. All right. So I have not heard from Aaron just yet. He is running late. Push comes to shove. Let me send. You know what? I did discuss the Amari Cooper situation on with Dallas. and Demarcus Lawrence. So let me send a link because I do want to invite him in here if he can. Just give me 1 second. All right. So, change of plans real fast, guys, because Aaron is running late. Um, we're going to be discussing getting the Amari Cooper and Demarcus Lawrence. That actually came across. I came across that earlier today. The Demarcus, them potentially cutting Demarcus Lawrence. And I invited Jason Alamiel while we wait for Aaron to show up. So we'll just kick it here for a second while we wait for Jason to get ready, or Aaron, whoever's gonna get on here on time. Um, yeah, the where you have to adapt quickly and not panic. Like I knew that. So I knew Aaron was gonna be late, y'all. He was running a meeting today, or he was at a meeting, and I was like, oh, no problem. I want to experiment. So while I experiment, add the video file onto the stream, hopefully, and do the cold intro and all that. Maybe it should give me because he told me 5 minutes or less, and it's been 5 minutes or less, and he's late. So we'll. Oh, Aaron's here. So hold on. Please hold. Please pause. Yo, Aaron.
Hey man, what's up?
What's
Sorry
good?
about that.
No, you're good.
It was at 25 minutes south of Tallahassee. That's where I'm at.
Okay. No problem.
Or that's where I was.
But
I have
Aaron, Aaron made it. Because you were kind of running late, I called in Jason to because I do want to talk. So, just to give you a quick rundown on the show, if you haven't kept up on the on the YouTube chat or whatever. So this is what's coming up on the show. We're going to be discussing the NFL Combine, our reactions to certain players. We're going to be discussing Amari Cooper being potentially. And Jason's backstage, but let me give you the rundown. Since Jason, if you're still listening, just give me a sec. I'll add you in. Let me just get the rundown to Aaron. So Amari Cooper, Demarcus Lawrence also rumored to be released. Let me see. Oh, Calvin Ridley. I don't know if you saw that Calvin Ridley was suspended from the NFL for a year due to gambling and all that stuff. So we're going to be discussing that along with free agency. So that's what's coming up for this episode.
Gambling has done a lot of damage in history, but I'll go into that.
Yeah. But let me add Jason to the stream so we can talk Cowboys and Amari Cooper.
Is it okay if I eat and talk?
Yeah, go ahead. I don't care.
It's been a long, long day. I'm virtually pooped. I became a member of the Tallahassee NFB, so I'm excited for that.
Jason.
All right, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I got you, buddy.
Okay, I'm excited.
Good to see you,
so
man.
we got the tardy and we got the lifesaver.
The turdy.
Yeah, I was actually watching, and I didn't know you were going to cover Cowboys, and I heard Oscar say, "Let me text Jason." I'm like, "Oh shit."
No, I was getting the idea like I was gonna cover Cowboys with just Aaron, but since he showed up late, I was like, I need this. I don't know how long this is gonna be late for him. Let me text this dude.
I'm here though.
I put in the chat before I got on.
Ran over.
I put in the chat that Aaron was farting it up over there.
Oh god.
Let me get a soda real quick. Hold on a second.
Damn, bro, you don't just sell me out, bro.
I want to sell you in.
By the way,
I'll buy it.
Jason.
Yeah.
So I did something interesting on this stream.
Yeah, you're cross streaming, right?
No, not just that. So I clicked on a tab, on the brand tab.
Yeah.
And there's an option where you can upload the logo, just the straight up logo. Just the photo of it. I wonder if it shows.
Which photo are you talking about?
My logo.
Aaron, do you can see, right? So does it show his logo?
It's not on there right now. It's just a black screen next to us.
Okay, I'll probably
could you could you open the YouTube link and see if it, or if you want, here, let me go to Emily. Do you want me to go to Emily and ask real quick?
Yeah, that's
hold on. Oh, okay.
All right, here,
I'll try to go in there myself. But...
All right, cool. Hold on, I'll be right back then.
This is working dinner. I'm sorry, guys.
No, you're good. You're good. What are you eating?
Burgers. I haven't had a chance to think, much less eat. Watch, we're gonna get a thing from YouTube that says it's against the terms of service for somebody to eat on stream.
Man, dude, people do it all the time. I mean, me and Jason ate during the Super Bowl live stream, and this is that. Like we stated on his channel, we were just goofing. Like when we were eating, we were goofing off. Like we were just eating, belching, doing a lot of them.
There's a lot of fundraisers we're gonna have coming up down here. Man, it's gonna be back home.
I'm waiting for this.
Oh man.
You're still the baby.
And I'm still waiting for that dermatologist thing too.
All right, Oscar.
Yo.
So Emily sees a blue duck.
Oh, I also heard there might be some rumors about Von Miller going to Buffalo.
Oh God.
I heard about that actually. All right.
Okay, that's wild.
You want to talk about a crazy as hell pass rush?
Like I said, I'll take a look. I'll take a look.
Yeah,
I just wanted to experiment.
She sees a blue duck.
Quack, 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 quack.
That's wild.
Yeah, so that's what she sees. So I'm not sure if that's what you were aiming for, but
By the way, best vanilla cream soda ever.
Where'd you get it from?
I got it from Publix.
Publix, okay. Oh, here, listen to this.
Hell yeah! Listen to this. Listen to this. Hold on.
Okay.
People think I'm popping a beer on stream, but it's actually just a cream soda.
I mean, you can pop a beer on the stream. I mean, we have to deal with Oscar. I wouldn't mind if you did.
I mean, I don't care. You know what, Jason? Remember, I can kick you out whenever I want.
Yeah, but then your stream won't do as well. So, I mean, it's up to you.
Actually, I'm here, which means it does even better.
I like how we're both saying that Oscar wouldn't do well by himself.
I really wouldn't, to be honest.
I wouldn't either. I remember I did.
Of course.
I would not do well by myself either. I feel like, by the way, Oscar, I might do a live stream tonight.
About hockey?
Hockey and then football. Just a couple little things.
Football.
Yeah, the Amari Cooper, Demarcus Lawrence trade.
We already addressed the Amari Cooper. Is he on your channel at least?
Or at least the Demarcus Lawrence. I've never addressed that.
Yeah, I didn't even know about that until I watched Undisputed.
Yeah. So
Go to bed, B. Okay, go to bed.
Okay.
No, it's my nephew. I'm talking to him. Oh gosh, I'm gonna fall to my chair. He opened the door and kind of invaded the stream there for a second.
I don't care.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, he might get Oscar more views.
He's cute enough to do it.
That's the one where he's like, "What are you doing?"
Oh yeah. What time are you streaming?
Probably like 7:30 my time. So
so that means, all right.
You can watch it tomorrow. It's not going to be a very long live stream at all. I think maybe 40 minutes at the most. Yeah.
I'm trying to find a day where
what we'll do so that way you don't exhaust your bagpipes.
I'm trying to find a day where I don't have shit to do, but I can do a Twitch stream.
No, I'm good, Oscar. I've only been awake for like the last 2 hours, so I am ready, prepared. Let's go.
Surprised.
Well, like I was up doing schoolwork, and I was like, "Oh, I should probably do some more, right?" And then I looked at my iPad, and it said 4:30 in the morning. I'm like, "Well, buddy."
Dude, I'm waiting for a day where I don't have so much crap to do, so I can do like a Twitch stream.
Like, do it all day though. Like do like a 20-hour live stream. Oh God.
I bet I could. I bet I have the discipline to do it.
There are guidelines for streams. I think like streaming. I don't know. I know YouTube. You can't do more than 24 hours because they will take it down for some reason. I remember.
Well,
no, but see, at that point, what you do is you just when you hit the 23-hour mark, you go off and then you go right back on.
Well, like once you're at 22 and a half, you make a new live stream.
That's what you do. Like, they're seriously like, hold on, guys, let me back after these messages and act like it's like a freaking commercial or something, and just go off and go back on.
I mean, I think it'd be ridiculous if you did a 20-hour live stream. Like,
I feel like I have the discipline to do it if I wanted to.
You know what? I could do it if it comes to politics, which the midterms are coming up in November.
Dude, if I'm playing a game, I'll straight put on some Assassin's Creed, and I will do side missions for 20 hours.
Oh, geez. But yeah.
You know what sucks? That I can't monitor. I can monitor the YouTube chat, but I can't monitor the Twitch.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Thank you. That's something that really pisses me off because here's the problem. If I were to try to use something like VoiceOver to read the Twitch chat, my microphone would pick it up.
Oh yeah. Well, especially
so
because
damn
you're also on
sensitive.
your phone.
Well, because I can't see the chat through the TV.
Oh.
There's no way to do that.
By the way, Aaron, we are multi cross streaming. We're streaming on YouTube and on Twitch.
Oh, sweet.
Oscar has grown up.
Hey, it was about time.
Hey, Aaron, you want him on the stream tonight? I know you're already on this one for like 8 hours.
Dude, I just got on this one. I literally went from Tallahassee.
Jason,
back to
I have a
Crawford,
question.
Georgia.
Yeah.
Oh wait, hold on. So why does your name on the live stream say iPad?
Because
he never changed the name.
No. So when I was doing like those practice recording streamings, the streams, both my Mac and the iPad said Jason. So I didn't know who I was muting, removing from the stream. I didn't know. So I made this one iPad so that I would at least know, and I'm not muting myself or removing myself from the stream.
Dude, it sounds like when you get like a mobile hotspot and you just don't change the name and it just says iPhone.
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's crazy too.
Mine says iPhone 2, but it says Jason's iPhone on my end, but it says iPhone 2.
Mine says Aaron's iPhone, but like the thing of it is too is
with a fart emoji.
Oh, but hey, look, with you it's an eggplant emoji.
Oh, what else do you put on there, huh? Let me know.
So before this goes off the rails, boys.
Too late.
Let me explain why we're doing the Golden Truth on a Monday night instead of our original Tuesday 6:30. It's because for
Oscar's
those that
lazy.
don't know, I'm doing another stream on someone else's channel tomorrow. That's gonna take place around the same time that Golden Truth usually goes live. So I just wanted to avoid going overtime on my channel. I just wanted to make sure that I made it on time to the other person's. He's a good guy at Oliver.
He's a good guy. You can trust him.
Does Washington Commanders content. He does Washington Wizards content on his channel too. But I also know that for a fact that he also is a host of, I guess, a podcast called Locked On Wizards. I'll ask him to send me those links.
So I gotta tell you, like the crazy thing that I'm like super self-conscious about right now is that my family always tells me that I'm a loud chewer. So like when I'm eating on stream, I feel like people are just gonna hear it.
What are you eating?
Burgers.
Ooh, from where?
Mickey D's, baby. Mickey D's.
Mickey D's, huh? What'd you get? A quarter pounder Big Mac? What'd you get?
It's a double stack and a McDouble.
What's a double stack?
Or like a double cheeseburger and a McDouble.
Oh.
But
honestly, did you get fries?
No. But I've been out in Tallahassee today, and so I didn't really have much time to prepare.
Oh, gotcha.
I was at the Tallahassee NFB meeting tonight.
Oscar told me.
Yeah, and
Tallahassee's the capital of 7-Up.
Really?
Yeah. I did a school project when I was in like 4th grade where we had to talk about all the states, and mine was Florida, and we figured out, I think that's the Tallahassee. No, Tallahassee is not the capital, is it? No.
Do you use Zoom Text Fusion?
I haven't used it in forever.
So it's actually so Freedom Scientific, the company that makes it, is centered out in Tampa.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
You could go visit.
I want to work for them actually.
Oh, that'd be cool. Oscar, you want to get to this?
Yeah. Let's go ahead and let's get to it. So, I guess we'll address Amari Cooper in a second, but I do want to talk about Demarcus Lawrence.
Oh my God!
I did not know about that until, like I said, I watched Undisputed this morning. But at the when I looked back at it, I'm like, am I really that surprised? Because like Jerry Jones, look, we can give a lot of, and we do, to Dan Snyder about sexual assault and all that other things. But on the business operations of of contracting their players, at least they know how to do contracts right. Jerry Jones likes to splurge way too much, and then look what you're doing. Look where you're at. You guys are over the salary cap, forced to cut arguably one like your best players that you overpaid, and it suffers. Let's take a look at it. Demarcus Lawrence, he doesn't rack up the sacks, but he can get back there, and he gets to the quarterback, and when the quarterback feels that heat, he can make mistakes. So Demarcus Lawrence has that impact on defense. Amari Cooper, Dak Prescott, before Amari Cooper got there, was bad. Like the Cowboys started that season when Amari Cooper got there because they traded him mid-season. Dallas was 3-5 without him, and Dak Prescott got better with him. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Demarcus Lawrence has what I call the defensive double dip principle, where in that even if you don't get sacks, offensive linemen have to double up on him, which frees other linemen up to get those sacks.
Yeah. Exactly. And the one thing is that, I mean, when you're working with D-Law and you got Randy Gregory and you got freaking Micah Parsons, who's a great pass rusher, who wasn't a pass rusher in college, they wanted him as edge rusher too, which he can do as well. So, I mean, when you have Demarcus Lawrence getting to that backfield, getting to the quarterback, making him feel that heat, now you have the offensive line trying to get to Demarcus Lawrence. And now, as Aaron said, the rest of the guys are getting getting to them, right? So it's
what Von Miller was doing for Aaron Donald.
Exactly. And with the Rams, exactly. So I feel like with Demarcus Lawrence, I mean, as a Dallas fan, they always talk about how he is the guy who, when Dallas is running the ball, when Dallas is needing that extra punch on the defense side, he's one of the. There's a reason why he's on the front four.
Sean Lee offered that in a cornerback position too.
Exactly, and I feel like he does help the cornerbacks out too. And, because you have Anthony Brown, you have Trayvon Diggs, you got all those guys getting the sacks and all of that, and I feel like D-Law is the distraction mechanism that Dallas needs and that those boys need to get those sacks. That Parsons needs.
Especially on delayed blitzes, too.
Exactly. And D-Law is not one to get a lot of penalties, but D-Law is also, like, you see Micah Parsons running all over the field. He's either on the edge, he's either in the middle, he's either as pass rusher, he's getting sacks all over the place. D-Law is providing him that cover, right? We talk about Deebo Samuels, who's able to do that twisted motion. He's going one way, one direction, left or right. You as the defense are now going and following him. All of a sudden, he does another motion and he's gone. Now you've lost him. Now you can't get to that quarterback.
You know who else had that?
You see what I mean? And that's the distraction mechanism that I think D-Law provides for Dallas. And there's a reason why he's on the front four, and it's because he's a badass.
And Dwight D-Law reminds me a lot of Dwight Freeney in his heyday with Indianapolis.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But I mean,
what did you hear Undisputed say? Because I didn't see that. I knew that I heard it last night, but what did Undisputed say?
Basically,
give me what Shannon Sharp say.
Basically, because the moderator, I don't know who the moderator was for the segment. I don't know if it was Jenny Tapp or whatever her name was, but I think it was someone different. She asked both of them, like, how much impact will those two players, obviously Amari Cooper and D-Law, hurt Dallas in the long run? And basically what we're echoing here, that losing Demarcus Lawrence on the defense is going to be huge.
There's no more delayed blitzes.
Yeah.
Nope.
No more delayed blitzes.
And here's the thing, like, Randy Gregory, he's a free agent.
Do they have enough cap space to even bring him back?
Yeah, basically.
Exactly. Well, Jerry could take some of his billions.
Leighton Vander Esch is a free agent, and I really don't see, because Dallas is in a penny pinching situation, I don't see them bringing him back at all.
Could you see Dallas going after Jesse Bates?
No.
Jesse Bates already got franchise tagged.
You know what? And I wish that they would do away with
notification dropped earlier.
I wish they would do away with the whole franchise tag thing. I really do, because I feel like it's kind of dicking around with some of the players, like Devontae Adams. It's likely that he might get franchise tagged by Green Bay, and I feel like it's like, even though you have your players for an extra year, it's hurting you more than helping you, because you're driving up the value of a player that, if driven up too much, you're not going to have the salary cap space to be able to keep them.
Yeah, and not only that, but you're also, I mean, especially the salary cap, but I guess I can't put it in any other better way that you put it, because, you know, you franchise Jesse Bates, you franchise Devontae Adams, you franchise Dak Prescott or Dalton Schultz or whoever, and yeah, you're not only are you raising the value of the player, not only are you now running out of cap space, you're hitting the cap space, because NHL, you can't even hit 10 million without hitting the cap space in most teams. The biggest problem is you're now forced to ruin your team. That, like, Dan Quinn has been credited with doing so well with his defense. And you're right, Dan Quinn has been absolutely phenomenal. Running blitzes, doing, you know, the delay blitzes. He's been, you know, doing all kinds of things like that, right? However, and running the pocket. The biggest problem is if you take away, you run into, when you franchise tag, now we're going to get rid of Amari Cooper, Randy Gregory might go, Leighton Vander Esch might go, now Demarcus Lawrence might go. The biggest problem you have is now those pieces that Dan Quinn once had are gone. I don't think your defensive coordinator is going to be able to do the job he once did. And what's going to happen? I mean, the fans are going to go, "Oh, Dan Quinn!" Oh,
I mean,
and he's going to get fired for it.
I mean,
he's going to get fired for it.
I mean, at least last year, Dallas invested a lot in their defense in the draft last year, so they do have up and coming talent.
But do you think that they've learned enough to be able to pick up where these critical pieces have left off?
Well, we're gonna have to wait and see. That's all
I mean, this is a symptom that's happening in the NFL. Whether it's cap space, whether it's injuries, whether it's one thing or another, players are being put in sooner than they should, and the league is chewing them up and spitting them out.
Yeah, I mean, you see what they're doing, especially with players like, you know, in the NHL, especially. I can give that context. You know, you have these salary caps, you have all of that. You have Tampa Bay, that the reason they won is because all these teams were trying to be conservative. Vegas, LA, you know, Ottawa, all these, Edmonton, Vancouver, they were trying to be conservative. Oh, the salary cap. I can't curse on this channel, but Tampa Bay said, F the salary cap. I'm going to have Vasilevsky. I'm going to have all my guys come over. I don't care what you got to say. You know what? If you got a problem, sue me. But I'll see you after we win the playoffs. And that's what happened, right? The biggest thing that you encounter is all these critical pieces. When Vegas came into the picture of the NHL, everyone said, "Oh my God, look at all these pieces they got. They're going to hoard their prospects." No, Vegas is giving them out like they're candy. Free candy for everybody. What you're doing is you're destroying any credibility your team has, because now your defense is going to be sort of middle of the pack. You're not going to be getting the sacks you once did because you don't have the distraction mechanism.
Well, and it's the division, not too. That division is so competitive.
Yeah, and you're not going to be getting, you know, a lot of the great passes to what would be Amari Cooper. You're not going to get those catches in the red zone. You're not going to, and it's just. To me, I think this is just ruining the team. It's gonna brace for impact. Because exactly, morale bound. I mean, look at the culture. If you got guys that get along, and then you take that away, you think Dak's gonna come back and be able to play like normal? Watch training camp. Watch training camp come by, and everyone's gonna see the struggle. Watch it.
And by the way, I know this is like off topic, but there's another topic I want to talk to you guys about at some point tonight, because the NFL and the XFL have actually struck a partnership. But
no, I ain't doing that. don't talk about the XFL.
Look,
Aaron, you can come on my stream tonight if you want.
Well, all I was saying was that I feel like there's gonna be some interest. We're not talking about a talent swap. We're talking about two leagues coming together, looking at the rules of the game for player safety.
I mean, my thing is with so there's the NFL. They created the UFL, whatever that is. And then apparently is that supposed to be like the XFL reincarnated after they got canceled by COVID?
Pretty much,
yes,
I think so.
Yes,
well, but it is. We also have the IFL.
Isn't it the same thing?
I guess, but like there's commercials here in Vegas like your Vegas Nighthawks are here, the latest IFL team. Hold up.
Okay, so I probably miss. Maybe it's the IFL, not the UFL. I don't know.
But my point being is it would be nice to have another league when the NFL is off season.
No.
Yeah,
no.
I can't get into sports. I'm sorry.
We get to watch the NFL rejects.
Look,
I don't want to watch the NFL rejects. I'm sorry, Aaron, but
I'm going to tell you right now. The NHL, impossible for me to follow. MLB, impossible for me to follow.
I think it's impossible just because it's you, right? Like the NHL, it's fun.
I mean, I can.
The NHL, they switch conferences every single year, like teams do.
Not all teams, though.
You know what it probably is, though, Aaron? It's because the NFL, since 2002, they have not expanded a franchise. I feel like the NHL, the reason why it's really hard to flourish is because they keep on adding teams. Like, they literally this season added what's their name? Like the
Kraken.
Krakens. Like,
well, it's the same reason why I don't watch college either. Because did you know that this year? Was it Texas and Oklahoma moved from the Big Ten all the way to the SEC?
Yes.
Like both teams just switched, and I'm like, you basically just put a new face on an old rivalry.
I think it's good if that kind of thing is happening because what you're doing is you're switching it up. I think when you keep it for so long to just right, like I don't know. Look, the NHL
that I'm ignorant to, then I find no interest in wanting to follow it because I'm the kind of person where if I get to know a sport. I want to get to know a sport so systematically that I can never be wrong about it.
I think that's impossible because, I mean, yeah, you can get to know a sport and you can systematically not be wrong about it, but at the same time, sports are so complicated and they're meant to be complicated. They're not meant to be easy. I think, but anyway, Oscar, let's go back to the Cowboys topic. For me, I like
how Aaron says not to get off topic, and we get off topic, and then we just.
I'm bringing it back.
Basically.
Yeah. So here's my problem, right? Like you said, Jerry likes to splurge. This is not a Jerry Jones move. This is a Stephen Jones move. What I'm hearing all over Cowboy Nation is that this is a Stephen Jones, Ken Rosenthal, though he does more MLB, but he's released it. Adam Schefter's released it. Jeff Passan's released it. All these guys have been saying this is a Stephen Jones move because Jerry wants to see how is he going to do. And obviously, I don't know that they know their own players. However,
their own players.
No, they don't. But however, if you take Gregory, you take D-Law, you take Amari Cooper, Leighton Vander Esch, there's a huge market at least for three of those dudes. Amari Cooper and D-Law, there's a giant market out there. You think the Rams or you don't think KC wants to add someone? You don't think the Bills want to add someone? There's teams that are getting ready for the playoffs that all they need is one weapon. Like we talked about on my channel. There's one team that's just waiting to add a weapon, and they're going to come back and bite Dallas in the ass. They're going to come back and bite everyone else in the ass, and then they're going to be in the Super Bowl, and you're going to see Amari Cooper's name up in lights. That's what's going to happen.
Cincinnati is in a desperation state to add people, considering that they're losing people as well, and they want to prove to the entire league and the entire world that just because they hadn't been to a Super Bowl in 34 years does not mean they're not going to go back.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, they ain't going back next season.
Look, all I'm saying is that whole organization is hungry.
Packs a punch.
All I'm saying is that organization is hungrier than ever. And not only that, but you've got so many teams. The Tennessee Titans are a team that's really, really hungry. They had
get out of here.
No. They had absolutely no offensive line, and they were still competitive.
Dude, if the Ravens were healthy, number one, the Bengals probably would have gotten in as a wild card team.
Yep.
Number two, the Ravens probably would have had that number one seed and not the Titans. Stop the cap.
Thanks for the shout out to my team. Yeah.
Now here's the thing. Look.
Jason, if you can lay back a little, you're way too close to the mic.
All right, is this better for you guys? Is this Is this better? Is this here? I have it on YouTube. Hold on, let me check this. I'm is this better for you guys? Oscar?
Yeah, it sounds.
Yeah, you're good, bro.
Yeah, you're good.
It's because here's the problem. So they haven't added support for mini mics on the iPad with Safari. So
Safari is a cluster. You know what?
Yeah, it's better on the Mac, but essentially, Oscar, there's a reason why I can get on Safari on StreamYard and not Chrome. It's because it doesn't let you do it on Chrome on the iPad, whereas on the Mac, it doesn't let you do it on Safari.
Yeah, that's wild. It's on the reverse, yeah.
Yeah, but also my mic doesn't work as well. No matter, I could go get the Mini Rodecaster. I could go get $800 mic. It still won't work with the iPad on StreamYard on Safari. So I'm sorry if it's because when you said it so last minute, I couldn't get the Mac ready in time. You know what I mean? Because I had other software running. Good. So, but
again, it's all Aaron's fault for showing up late.
Yeah, Aaron.
And here's the thing, and I tried to stall for him too.
Yeah.
I have nothing to say.
Fart. Oh boy. But here's my thing, right? I think that when we're talking about the Cowboys and we're talking about all these teams that are ready to go, the Bengals, they're ready in terms of that they're ready to add weapons. They need another couple years where they're going to add a couple more weapons and boom, it's going to be pretty amazing for them.
Chase compliment.
They do. Now, would they add Amari Cooper? I don't know, but I don't see them back next year. However, as Oscar said on his channel, in the next 3 to 5 years, don't be surprised if you see Cincinnati back there. However, the Tennessee Titans, when they beat, who did they beat that got the Raiders in the playoffs?
Was it LA? No, the Chargers.
The Jaguars?
No.
Was it the Chargers?
No, it was I think it was the Texans. Not the Texans.
The Colts.
I don't know who it was.
Anyway, when they beat them, like I told Oscar, I don't see the Titans getting any further.
I forgot to get myself a soda. I'll be right back.
See?
Because the Titans need an offensive line. If the Titans get themselves an offensive line, that's where the Titans need to draft offensive linemen. They could take Brian Scherzer.
Do they also need a quarterback, or are they fine there?
See, Tannehill's been doing well. The only reason he hasn't had good numbers is because he can't stay off his back.
Well, that's that, and I think the offensive line could protect him.
That's what I'm saying.
But you need, yeah, I see where you're coming from, but at the same time, can you see Amari Cooper or D-Law or Gregory or LVE in Tennessee?
I don't think Tennessee needs anybody on the defense. I just think they need offensive linemen.
You don't think they could add a little bit of flair?
If they need flair. Okay, if you could see, here's the thing: wide receivers want to get paid like number ones, and
sure,
I could see Amari Cooper being offered a number one wide receiver contract in Tennessee.
But the thing is,
if there's an offensive line there.
Well, because he can't be the only one, though. That's the other problem is you need
AJ Brown on one side, you got Amari Cooper on the other.
Okay, but don't you need more weapons on the offensive line besides those two?
Well, maybe they need a good tight end then.
Yeah, maybe a couple tight ends.
But they don't run a 2 tight end set, do they?
No, I don't think so.
Then why would you need a couple of tight ends because here's the thing.
But maybe that could be the change. Maybe that could be the change that they need because, I mean, just they were so close. They didn't get too far after the first round, I think.
But it says a lot that they were able to put themselves in a position because the AFC South that year was a freaking dogfight between the Colts and the Titans.
All right.
And I'll tell you this.
Let me tell you why the Titans are in a tight end need. It is because they were so they were such cheapskates. They had a good tight end. They had a good tight end in Jonnu Smith, and they didn't want to pay him. And what did he do? He went to the Patriots. So that's why they don't have a good tight end. I do agree that the Titans do need offensive linemen because their offensive line isn't all that good.
Because then they can run off the back of Derrick Henry.
I mean, Derrick Henry
is a freaking beast.
Yeah.
All I have to say for the Cowboys, they need to stop splurging. If anything, they need to. There are some players that I would get rid of. I don't know that Dallas fans like AB, Anthony Brown. So, and he.
I think that the Cowboys made a mistake re-signing him and letting Achille Beuze go.
Exactly. But and a lot of people say that, but I think if you get rid of AB, if you take a couple other guys out that aren't key, like that, whenever you see the analysis people go out on TV, they don't mention, look, I just think getting rid of any of these guys, Gregory, Parsons, or even Cooper out, or even no, I'm sorry, not Parsons. That would be stupid. D-Law, Gregory, and Cooper. First off, Cooper is the complement to is just a great chemistry guy with Dak.
And I'm saying
D-Law.
him.
I'm saying prioritize him because I mean there are other guys, there are other talents out in the NFL draft this year. I'm sure that could replace D-Law. However, I don't know that they could be that distraction mechanism that he is. And that's what Dallas needs. And that's why he's in the top 4 with Gregory and Parsons, because he is that good. So if the Cowboys can get their crap together, they need to at least keep D-Law and Coop. You want to like
versatility as well, like players that can do multiple things in multiple positions,
like Parsons.
Yeah, but I'm not saying specifically Parsons because he right now his head is big, and he's got to be knocked down a few notches before he can. Really...
I do think so. I do, and the Cowboys. That's one thing that I've discussed with. I don't think I've discussed with Oscar, but I've discussed on my channel. I don't like his cockiness. But here's the thing. With Parsons, it's not like he has that big ego because he plays to that big ego's requirements.
He's one of the few people that can back it up.
Exactly. But how long can that continue as he gets older? He's young right now. But I don't like the cockiness. I don't. I love Parsons. I just don't like that he's so cocky. And he won the Defensive Rookie of the Year for the right. So I'm sorry, but I just don't like that cockiness. But that's my opinion on D-Law. I just don't think they should get rid of him. I think it'd be a mistake if they got rid of Coop, number one. And if you run a get,
yeah, but I think that they have no choice unless they find someone that's. I mean, would you? Here. Okay. Ooh, this is a good one. Would you rather get rid of Demarcus Lawrence and Amari Cooper? Or would you rather get rid of Dak Prescott and Ezekiel Elliott?
Oh.
Which package deal?
I might say Cooper.
Because look, I mean, Ezekiel Elliott is not playing as he once did before. What he needs to be doing is filling the gaps and filling spaces. He's not going to be jumping over. He's not going to be running the ball as much as he used to, right? However, I cannot see Zeke going at all. Dak Prescott is probably the only, even though he underperforms, he's under that pressure and he cracks under that pressure and he caves under and he can't do anything. He is the glue that's holding that team together. And
hey Jason, okay. maybe he's Naeem's distant relative.
Yeah, but he's caving to the I see. Go ahead, Aaron.
Ezekiel Elliott leaving Dallas is where Tony Pollard's career goes to die. Tony Pollard is not a solitary back. He is not a number one back.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Did you not see that 58-yard? Did you not see that 58-yard touchdown that he threw?
But do you think he has that productivity so consistently? Because I don't.
I do.
I mean, the only thing is that he's injury prone. That's the only problem.
Exactly. But so is Zeke now.
So is Zeke. But
And he had more yards per carry than Zeke.
Having the two of them together is what makes Dallas's running game so dynamic.
Well, sure, but if you're that's why I'm saying I don't think I could get rid of Dak or Zeke or both of them together. So as I love Amari Cooper, I think it would be a mistake for them to let them go. But if that's the scenario they're presented with, yeah, I would go Amari Cooper and D-Law. I still think it's stupid.
And there's seniority within the franchise. Dak and Zeke have that over Amari Cooper.
Yeah, but here's the thing, and this is what Skip Bayless said, was that they overpaid Dak. He folded, and he's the main reason why he's eating Dallas's salary cap, because they paid him $75 million this past season.
Yeah,
and for what? To get knocked out by Jimmy G and the 49ers, really?
And Debo and Kelsick and all those guys. Yeah, exactly. And I mean, right now the Cowboys are in a state of desperation, and you know what they say, when desperate call for desperate measures. When people are desperate, they start doing really bad things. They start doing dumb things. And this is Dallas for you. This is what Dallas fans have had to go through, and I think Washington also has had to go through it. That's just my opinion on things.
Well, you talk about San Francisco. They have their own problems because they need a cornerback desperately.
Let's wrap up the Dallas talk, because I do want to get your thoughts on this. So Calvin Ridley and obviously so Calvin Ridley is suspended. Well, as of right now, is suspended for a season due to him having
betting on games.
Betting on games. However, here's what the intriguing part, guys, is that he did this when he stepped away from the Falcons last season, because apparently he was stating the reason why he stepped away, because I think he only played like a total of like 3 games or something like that. Apparently he was having mental issues. What do you guys think? Do you think that the NFL is justified in suspending him? Why or why not?
Well, I'll go first, I guess. I guess. I
mean, it is your city that caused him to be suspended. So why not?
It is. My Vegas is, and look, the Vegas betting out here. I think people underestimate. I mean, people were betting the Knights to lose, and there's a rumor, and it's very solid, that Kelly McCrimmon and Bill Foley were told your team is going to lose because we're going to bet on it, and we want your players to play like they're going to lose. And that's what happens, because Vegas is betting no matter what sport you bring. Let's say I'm not even going to make that joke. Let's say that the Oakland A's came out here. All of a sudden, they're a World Series top contending team. The danger that these teams run into is that they're going to be told to lose because everyone's got a bet against them. So on this, you could say, well, it's not like he was playing in the games, so why would he be suspended? The problem is you can't set a double standard, in my opinion, because even though he wasn't playing, what if they had said in week 7 or week 8 or week 10, hey, could you come out here? And he did. Well, now he's still betting on the games. I think if you're a member of the team, even if you are not playing at all because you're injured, because you have mental health, because your balls are blue, you should not be able to bet on your own games. This is what got Evander Kane in trouble in the NHL. The NHL is not in the gambling business yet, as of yet. And there was an investigation because his wife said that he was possibly gambling. They cleared him of that. It is.
UFC, yeah.
It is. You're betting on your own fight, and you shouldn't be able to do that. I think it's. There's a reason why gambling is such a major. It's illegal in a lot of states. There's a reason why the teams have the leagues have said, decided not to have gambling and let you gamble on your own games. It creates a danger. It presents different legalities that you don't, and litigation that the teams don't want to go through and the league doesn't want to go through. And I think my opinion is he was on the team no matter what. He had their jersey. He had a number, and he was still being paid, right?
Yeah.
So you're on the team. You have the jersey. You have a number. You're still a team member, even though you're not traveling with them or playing with them at home games. I heard he went to a couple home games after he left too. You're still being paid. you're still a member of the team. The NFL is justified here.
I agree with you,
Aaron.
and I agree with you, and I'm going to tell you this. I think that if they would have given any credence to his quote-unquote mental issues, it would set a precedent where an NFL player would basically say, I'm not guilty of doing such and such that is against the rules of the NFL because I have mental health issues.
Look at the criminal justice system, too. Well, yeah, exactly. There's a precedent.
People plead insanity when they're... Mm-hmm, yeah.
When there's a mass shooting, he's mental.
I just find it funny. I just find it funny that the NFL was fast to react to suspend this dude for a year, and they really cannot strip Dan Snyder of the ownership. That's what got me.
Well,
that's what got me mad. That's what got me mad when I saw the NFL suspend cover. I'm like, what the heck? I'm like, y'all are fast to react to that, but you guys can't react fast to banning a freaking owner. Like, what the heck?
So, I want to leave this topic at this because
if Jerry Jones was to do it, though, Jerry Jones would have been ousted as owner. You know it. You can't say no.
So I want to leave this with this idea in mind because this is something very interesting. The state of Florida has been trying to pass this legislation where sports betting should be legal, and the way they should do it is that if you're betting on sports, a portion of the proceeds from the sports betting goes to a local charity. Again,
no,
I don't know that should be the case because they're trying to make it like educational charities and things like that.
No, because it's illegal everywhere. Oh, we gave it to a doggy shelter. Well, now the doggy shelter is in the illegal activity.
Yeah, it's kind of hurting the names of those. It's kind of hurting the reputation
of those charities.
Those charities that actually take the money.
The children's hospitals, the Girl Scouts, if they take it, the Boy Scouts, if they take it. Oh, those Thin Mints, though?
Yeah, really.
Boy Scouts, I'm just saying, Boy Scouts, you better freaking get your crap together because the girls are beating you in the cookie arena. Because my brother told me, what kind of cookies do you want? And he gave me the list. I ordered like 6 boxes. That was just for me and my mom. So anyway, but on that, it does set a dangerous precedent, and that whole mental health thing. It not only, if the NFL sets that precedent, then what's to say the MLB won't set that precedent? Rob Manfred, Manfraud, okay, hashtag Manfraud.
You said at the same time.
But he has single-handedly.
What's the hashtag for Goodell?
No Goodell.
Hashtag no Goodell.
No Goodell. Yeah. So, I mean, which you should put that in your stream, Oscar. But again, you can't set that precedence. And with Dan Snyder, what's his name? Roger Goodell works for the owners. So now here's my question: if he's protecting Dan Snyder like this, right? If Antonio Gibson were to do anything, if he was under the same sex crimes as
Peterson,
Peterson or as Snyder, let's say he was in on it, would they say you gotta fire, we gotta expel we gotta expel Antonio Gibson from the league? It's the same team. I would wonder if a player was to do the same thing or another crime or another scandal, would Goodell say, we have to do something against your player, but we won't do something or against you? Or would he say, no, it's Washington, we can't do anything against them? I would be very curious.
I'm saying too,
I put the hashtag in the chat.
Oh yeah.
And I'm saying this too because Adrian Peterson had 2 domestic violence charges against him while he was a part of Washington.
Yeah.
No, it was against Minnesota. It was when
actually it was one in Minnesota and it was one in Washington.
Okay, I did not see the Washington, but I did know about the Minnesota.
But here's the thing, right? What happened to him when he was in Washington? Did they let him go? Or did he pay a fine?
No, they still kept him.
But did the NFL say? So the NFL protected him.
Protected it. Yes.
See, so you see the disparage where I wonder if Goodell is a Washington fan. That's his mistake. But and he's protecting the team owner. and any team player that might be out, because you saw him.
Maybe he's a fan of the rivalry, because I bet he would protect Dallas as well.
No, he wouldn't, because Zeke Elliott had his scandal. Jerry Jones said, "I'm not effing paying his fine," and the court said, "Yes, you are." And Jerry Jones went with his tail between his legs and paid the NFL the fine. So the NFL went after the Cowboys, and they've done it in multiple ways over the years. So there's a bias against, which that should tell the owners, oh crap. So he's going to pick a group of owners he likes, and he's going to pick a group of owners he doesn't like.
So it's not a matter
it's like Rob Manfred. Well, yeah. Well, it's a matter of the owner, but it's also a matter of the team, because he didn't go after Peterson. He went after Zeke Elliott, but he didn't go after Peterson. And not only that, but
Aaron Hernandez.
What was that?
Aaron Hernandez. The first time he had gotten in trouble with the law, he was protected as a member of the Patriots. But then it took for him to
be
murder somebody,
getting jailed. Yeah.
Yeah, it took.
Yeah, exactly. But can you imagine if he was on the Cowboys? They would have thrown him out like that. So I
feel like the Patriots improved though, because when they found out about the whole entire AB situation, the sexual assault allegation for Antonio Brown, they released him like that. Like they did not wait.
I thought it was the game that it was like, oh, the Patriots. Yeah. Well, and people complain about Terrell Owens having all these scandals. Antonio Brown lives for scandal. But and I don't know if I would be able to. He is. And I don't know that I could be going around doing all that crap that he does.
Not to mention, like,
and jumping all over the league.
Well, and everything that he did, and then all of a sudden he gets injured in a hyperbaric chamber, and everybody's like, oh, poor AB.
Yeah, exactly. But oh my god, my iPad just like blasted voice over my ear and scared the shit out of me. Because I'm wearing headphones, and so like it's extra loud with the mic.
You ever like played a video game or something and you didn't realize how loud it was, and then when the actual like intro pops up and you're like, oh god.
Like and you're like, take off the headphones.
Notification. Let's see if it's something important.
The Washington Commanders are out of the league.
Well, I have you here, Jason, because I know that it's basically almost time for your stream, like in half an hour. So,
I'm probably gonna do it at like 8:30. So, because
by the way,
I mean, either way, we're gonna be discussing Washington free agents. I don't know if we want to be a part of.
Where do you guys see OBJ landing?
OBJ?
Still
the Rams.
No, it's not even that. I think he's gonna stay home this year because he tore his ACL. So.
Oh, that's true.
So
that's true.
I think he would be. I think he could recover quickly, and maybe by the next postseason.
No, because here's the thing. When he tore his ACL the last time, he was basically done for the whole entire year. So, and here's the thing. It's the same. What sucks is that it's the same ACL that he tore the year prior. So,
and with
he's probably gonna have to double.
Cincinnati. Yeah, exactly. That's true. But again, to close out this owner thing, it's like Rob Manfred. Hashtag Manfred. Rob Manfred basically protected the Astros, and then in the next regular season in 2020. He said anyone that does anything or says anything to the Astros will be suspended. So So what happened? So you couldn't, if like a pitcher wanted to hit one of the batters for like Altuve or whoever or Correa, they wouldn't be able to, because then they would be suspended. Joe Kelly, he meant to fucking hit Breckman, but he said no, it was just a wild pitch, and I'm sorry. They still suspended him 2 games. Dave Roberts said, no, I'll serve the suspension. So it's just a disparaging bull that Manfred takes, and he says, I'm going to go after you if you go after the Astros. But anything the Astros do, that's okay.
I do think decides to
Aaron, you're
protect
breaking
Washington.
You were breaking out.
I was saying, okay. No, it's okay. So even though the NFL does protect Washington, I think they try to cover it up during games by having the referees over call them on penalties.
I would not be surprised.
I wouldn't be surprised, but it's still not enough of a cover up. It's still not enough of a cover up.
Oh, and people are still seeing through it. But that's my point, though. That's their tactic. Like,
well, look at what they did with Brian Flores.
Yeah.
Right, because then it's like
you're breaking out, Aaron.
Yeah, but I mean, you look at because you can say, oh, then they're gonna because the NFL's tactic is stupid because there is one crew that the guys that called the I think it was the 49ers Rams game that they call the most flags. They throw the most flags on the field. So no matter what team they ref at, what home stadium, they're gonna do the same thing. So it's for the NFL to try and do that. It's like, yeah, but they did it against my team. They did it against the other team. They did it against the other team. So it's not that they're favoring Washington. It's just that they're sucky ass crew, right? They're a sucky ass crew. You know, the what they did with Brian Flores, the assistant coordinator coach with the Steelers, they did that to shut his ass up and to give his lawsuit no merit. They didn't do that. I can't believe the Steelers followed that. And they're one of the most progressive organizations in the league. So
how sad is it that Washington is the only team in NFL history to actually have a fifth down?
No.
Wait,
what?
That game that Washington played against Tampa a few years back, they called it. They had 2 fourth downs in a row, even though they're supposed to turn it over on downs on one of the plays.
You see, that's where I'm kind of glad that I actually do have an NFL geek that actually remembers that stuff because I don't even. Like,
I don't remember that at all.
Yeah, exactly.
It was against the Buccaneers.
Wow, you're a nerd.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Now come sit on my lap. Come sit on my lap, Aaron.
Jason, you're a bang geek, so you have no right to talk.
Hey, I'm a band geek. I'm a hockey geek. I'm a baseball geek. I'm just a geek all around. You're a Washington fan. You have no room to talk.
There's a distinction. There's a distinction. I'd rather be a geek.
Unfortunately, Duncan's not here because I really want to drop that line.
Oh, dude. I know. So when Oscar was trying to take me down the other day on my stream, he said, he said he wanted to say, Duncan, what did you say?
I was like, you're so happy about your team winning the Super Bowl, yet they needed to rely on penalties to get it done.
Oh!
It's true because it was only a 3-point win.
Exactly. And like I said to Duncan, and he deflects. No, because then there was that interception, and then this guy did that, and this guy, again, deflecting. He's not honest because he's, and I've told him this to his face. It's not like I'm talking behind his back. It's, well, I'm doing a great job censoring myself. Anyway, I told him, I'm like, those penalties, it's funny how the refs didn't call any penalties throughout the game, maybe a couple each quarter, maybe. And all of a sudden, they're calling penalties like there's nobody's business? Basically. No, they had an agenda. They absolutely had an agenda. And that's how the Rams won.
Bengals.
Oh, yeah.
They screwed the Bengals.
Oh, yeah. And you know what's funny is New Orleans is the only fandom that actually raised hell against the refs, and they actually got a call reviewed and overturned even after the game. They're the only team whose fans actually did that for them. Imagine if every team started doing that.
Well, but the thing of it is it's kind of one of those things where you have no choice to say every decision is final. If you're going to really try to pick and call it,
Aaron, you're cutting out again.
How is that even possible? I've got good internet.
Your farts are taking over.
Yes, they are. Clearly.
I hate fart jokes, but I
See?
You're the one breaking wind.
Oh my god, that was funny.
By the way, gas is up to $4 a gallon.
Oh my god. And you live in a red state. It should be lower.
No, for us, it was like $4.02 a gallon.
It's cheaper out here. It's like $2.50.
We're talking about farts. I'll talk about gas.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. Your gas? You mean your gas? Your gas costs
my gas, everybody's gas.
Everybody's gas, you know? Anyway.
Not ass gas.
Oh my god.
Any other NFL news that we need to cover in before we move on?
I mentioned something earlier about how there's a rumor that Von Miller might go to Buffalo.
Oh. Wait, what?
Might sign with Buffalo.
Say it slower for him.
No. It says I got an email notification in my ear. That's why I couldn't hear him. Yeah.
Von Miller to Buffalo. I could see that as a benefit for Buffalo.
That is a scary ass defense. If that happens.
If you add Von Miller, yeah.
Well, I mean, Buffalo is already pretty intimidating as it is. But you put Von Miller in there,
especially if he's like. Well, then again, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Miller goes into Buffalo.
You are cutting out
again.
What the fuck, dude?
Oh, see, you know what's funny is I didn't say one bad word.
He dropped the F-bomb.
Yeah, and he did.
You know what?
How is that the time I don't cut out?
You know what? I'm gonna put an incentive on both of y'all. For every single time you guys curse on my channel, you're gonna have to say one nice thing about Washington.
They're not playing right now. Oh!
That does not count.
Yes, it does.
No, it doesn't.
It does. It is a nice thing. It is. It's a nice thing. They actually have won a Super Bowl. They
actually won a Super Bowl.
They won 3.
Are they tied with Dallas then?
No, Dallas has 5.
No.
Oh,
actually,
that's right. That's right.
6.
Who has the most Super Bowls?
The Patriots have 7.
No, 6.
So no. The Patriots have. They won 6. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've won 6. The Steelers have also won 6. So the Steelers and Patriots
5.
are tied.
No, I think the Steelers have 5.
This one they had 6 because I thought Ben had.
Well, they lost against Green Bay in 2010.
2010, yeah.
Oh wait, yeah. They have 6. They have 6.
Yeah, because I know they also beat Arizona in 43.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, that was the most. That was
dude. Okay. One of the coolest.
I never thought I would see my brother cry over a game like that.
Oh, you told me. We're like, stop the clock.
No, I'm going to tell you this. I never had more respect for anybody than I did for James Harrison after watching him intercept a pass in his own end zone and run it from end zone to end zone. Big dude needed.
Now that was badass. That was badass. Well, I will admit that.
Antonio
Jason,
Holmes
you have to say a nice thing about Washington.
You poor soul.
Nope. Pass.
Nope.
You're not gonna get me to do it.
Nope.
I won't do it.
Either that or bye.
Well, it's time for me to go anyway.
Say something nice about him.
Well, I gotta go anyway because you guys gotta get to because free agency.
Yeah, free and the combine and other free. Oh my God, Deshaun Watson trade. Oh my God.
Oh, I cannot wait to hear your guys' thoughts on that. If Oscar even has any, yeah.
You know what? Goodbye, Jason.
Goodbye, Oscar. Thanks for having me on.
Thanks for coming in for the tardy of Aaron.
Yeah, I know, and I love how we're saying Aaron was tardy, and yet we were late on getting to the topic, and then Aaron changes the topic every now and then, and we just got done. You said, just the next 30 minutes.
My memory for other crap.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean you like jump in and let's switch the topic again. You're like,
Because
Dude.
if I don't, then you two have a bunch of awkward silences, you little turd.
No, we don't, because we were still making points, and you're like, I gotta take this back to something else.
Yeah, exactly.
You guys are
You
turds.
were like, you were like,
you guys are turds with you guys are turds with too much points.
You were the one that were like, by the way, I know this is off topic, but we should talk about the XFL and NFL partnering up. I'm like, what does that have to do with the conversation of the Dallas Cowboys and Demarcus Lawrence?
Yeah, I'm like, we talked about Von Miller, we talked about the Camlin, we talked about everything, and I'm like, wow, it's like I should have just cleared more time. Because Aaron just made it like that's what's even funnier for me. It's like, oh my god.
And here's the thing: we started.
I make it more interesting for you.
That is true.
We did start 20 minutes late. Because I was like, oh my god, like I'm sitting there on the app on the iPad, right? And I'm like, when are they gonna start? And I asked Oscar, and he's like,
Aaron has no conception of time. He told me 5 minutes or less. I'm like, okay, bet. I'll wait for the 5 minutes. So then I was getting the audio file ready to play the intro.
Yeah.
I didn't turn into bash Aaron time.
Yeah.
I mean, will it?
Right, what else are we supposed to do?
You know what? Let's set up. Hey, Jason, let's set up the battered Hall of Fame. We battered Naeem, we battered Aaron. So Aaron's the second.
Yeah, but Aaron needs more because we've battered Naeem. Poor Naeem. We've battered him for a year straight.
That's because he's easy.
Said his mom and his sister. And and his ex-girlfriend. Oh my
he
god.
was used to keeping it all in the family.
But alrighty, because we got to get this over with. And
hey, you know when Naeem throws a ball, you know those games where you have to like throw the ball at in the carnival, like inside a little thingy. And
yeah, he accidentally threw his and never saw them again.
Oh, and he threw them and then Inas caught them. Oh,
no,
or he felt them and he was like, "Ooh, this is what balls feel like."
They were so foreign to him.
I'll give you that one, Jason, but the one that you said before that really did not like. I like mine better.
Oh, I started it because I was like, said that person. But we should get. You know what? When Naeem ever comes on your stream, you should put a picture of a caveman.
So easy, a caveman could do it, like the Geico caveman.
Yeah, but it's because he caved so much. It's impossible.
He's stoned.
This has been a lot of fun.
Seriously, he's gonna walk in the stream and be like, "Who's this random dude that's been making fun of me the whole freaking time?"
I mean, he knows who you are.
He knows who I am, but he hasn't like talked to me extensively.
You wouldn't want that. You would if he talked to you extensively. You'd be there for hours.
Then again, when you interviewed us for that Prince William County chapter thing, I remember we were asking him about vlogging, and then he decides, "Oh yeah, I'm starting my own blog." I'm like,
"Yeah," and then he's like, "My channel's gonna pop off in 10 days. You watch." I'm like, "If your mom lets you." Oh
boy,
yeah, I remember that.
And it's been way past 10 days. It's literally been 2 months since he said that.
Base. Has it been? Yes, it has.
Yeah, I'm like, wow, that's the longest 10 days I've ever
Bro, I don't
witnessed.
see that channel popping off. None of us see that channel popping off anywhere.
Nope.
I see his balls popping in before he pops out his own channel.
you see his balls dropping before his channel pops.
Oh my god!
Even Aaron's battering.
Oh damn! Oh, that must hurt. Oh.
So
look.
Episode 6 of the Golden Truth we'll have to have a funeral session for Naeem because even Aaron.
Guys,
that was awesome.
Look.
That was.
Look, it's gonna be like this. Hi, my name is Naeem, and my channel's gonna drop.
And then his mom and Inas will pop. Not if we don't let you.
Finally grew up. Oh my gosh, I'm so proud of you.
Nigga, Jason, I called you Naeem by accident. Jason, say
you
something
motherfucker.
Nice about
Say something
Nope.
else about Washington.
3 times. You owe me 3 times.
They don't cave like Naeem. Oh!
Okay,
That
2 more
counts for
times.
2.
2 more times.
No. Anyway, you guys, I'm gonna go eat. Thanks for having me. I appreciate you guys bringing me on. And
Yeah, definitely.
You're cool, dude. You're cool.
one more fart noise. Oh, whoa, jeez! He gave me a fart
I
fart
gave you a
solo.
brown avalanche.
Oh, you had to.
Oh, you had to do. Well, he gives more than Naeem does. Oh!
Hey, look,
To the end.
from snow capped to Hershey squirt capped.
Oh my god, that is so fun. But by the way, do you have anyone in the chat? Let me see.
No, I've been watching over.
That's what she said.
Hold on. That's true. Hey, where's my chat? I put a chat in there.
I see it. I still see it there.
I don't see it at all.
Well, no surprise.
You have a bot there, Oscar.
Hold on.
How botterific.
It's the only thing Oscar does have. Ow! Oops. Oh, jeez.
Talk about a rolling brown.
Oh my god. This has been too much fun.
From geek to nerd to turd. Naeem is the nerd. And the turd.
Yeah.
It's good cream soda.
There, blocked it.
That's what she said.
It's very easy to block. It's very easy to block comments, Jason.
I'll figure it out.
Oh man.
I just thought I would let you know you had bots.
Yeah.
Maybe they have Naeem's balls.
Before you go, do you see any surprise free agency moves? Do you see any coming?
He doesn't keep up with that much. I literally have to keep him in the loop.
Yeah, he did. There was a name that I was gonna ask you about, and it just left me.
Just
So
put
I
it in the chat, and
yeah, I'll see.
He's gonna remember when he's doing something totally different.
I'm gonna be like, Naeem doesn't have balls. Oh, that guy. Yeah. Well, thanks for having me, you guys. I'm gonna go eat something and rub my belly a couple times.
Just make sure that after you eat him, you say sorry to Naeem.
I think he should say sorry to himself for caving so much. Ouch.
Neanderthal like.
All right, before we go on a loop, please.
All right, you guys. I'll see you guys later.
All right, Jason. Thanks.
All right. Yeah.
All right, that was Jason Alami, everybody, the host of J Sports. Oh man, I have to put his link in the description since he came in for. It was supposed to be 30 minutes, but it was an hour. But let's, Aaron, you still with me?
I got you, bro.
All right, so let's address this real fast. So, according to NFL, an NFL report over the weekend, the Washington. Oh my God, I was going to say that football team, the Washington Commanders. I really still got to get used to that.
It's okay, brother.
Submitted a trade for Russell Wilson. The Seahawks declined. They just said it was multiple draft picks, and obviously the Seahawks declined. So, and also other reports came out that the Commanders, I guess, sent a message out or were in contact with all 31 other teams regarding quarterbacks, and they've gotten different responses. But I do want to discuss. I want to get your thoughts on Russell Wilson first, but also Deshaun Watson, because apparently Washington and the Panthers are among the favorites to get Deshaun Watson. I know when we kicked off, or when you were first introduced to the show, you said it was a bad idea, but at this point, would you be okay with the Deshaun Watson trade to Washington?
Here's so I am more okay with it than I was. But again, the caveat to me is the off the field issues. If you can rein him in, then by all means, give him a chance.
Yeah, I actually I would give more for him than Aaron Rodgers, to be honest. I would not get Aaron Rodgers on the sole fact that a uh I've already said that he chokes. He's a choker, so I don't. I mean, the Commanders choke as much like already, so add another choker, and we're not going to go anywhere.
I
And
just
B, he's already old. He's old, and yeah, like I don't see. I would not get Aaron Rodgers, but I would entertain the idea of Deshaun Watson. But first and foremost, got to clean up the off field issues because Ron Rivera apparently likes to stay clear of the clear of. He's a very disciplined guy, which
even if we were talking about him going to any other team besides the Commanders, he still has to clean that up.
yeah.
Like it boggles my mind that people would consider consider acquiring him without making it a point to say, if you have any off the field issues, we will not hesitate to cut you like that.
Yeah. But we'll see. I mean, if they were willing, because here's the thing, they said when the Russell Wilson trade offer came to light, that it was multiple draft picks. They didn't say what draft
round?
picks, what rounds and things like that. So let's see if details come to light on that. I mean, Deshaun Watson apparently has a trade clause, and Washington right now isn't on that list, but at this point, not many teams. Yeah, not many teams right now are wanting Deshaun Watson. I mean, like I said, I think the Panthers and the Commanders are like the only two now that
what's going to be telling
are viable options.
What's going to be telling to me is does Washington still want to go after another wide receiver to balance out McLaurin?
Oh yeah, and we'll discuss free agency here here in a few minutes, but I want to get
No, I understand what you're saying. I'm just saying, like, when you look at the amount of money that the Commanders have, it's, do you try to get another quarterback, or do you stick with what you have and try to build around Heineke?
Heineke's not it, dude. If Heineke,
no,
okay,
I understand.
Now, look, if Heineke, say that they strike out on one of these top quarterbacks, right? Or they or they don't get like a Marcus Mariota or a Mitchell Trubisky or whoever, and they still have Taylor Heineke on the roster, then that means instantly that they're drafting a quarterback. And Taylor Heineke, unfortunately,
I still think they need somebody at wide receiver.
Is going to be yeah. I mean, I have to look up because I know the quarterback draft class. I don't know much of the wide receiver draft class. I hear that the quarterback draft class and the wide receivers aren't all that good, to be honest, this year from what I'm hearing. Like they're no household names.
Now, just because they're not a household name doesn't mean that they can't be one, because we have seen instances in the past of quarterbacks that seem to do nothing in college, or they were undrafted and they came and they were gangbusters in the NFL.
Yeah, but wide receivers is really hard to tell that because remember, Washington, I mean, they selected a guy named Josh Doxson. Remember that dude?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. That was a fail if there ever was one. But, I mean, if you could get someone like what Brandon Banks used to be.
Yeah.
Brandon Banks or Jamison Crowder, something like that.
I mean,
because the Commanders need a returner as well.
Yeah. I mean, bring back DeAndre Carter.
Yeah, but what's the likelihood of them actually doing that, considering it's a smart decision to make?
That is true.
This is the thing with the Commanders, and it's something that I think really needs to be addressed with them when it comes to their front office and making decisions. There is a smart way to go about things, and then there's a way that we know that they usually go about things. And that is, like, again, the way things are versus the way they should be. There are things that the Commanders should do, but of course they go off and do something totally different. So again, you have to take that into account.
Yeah. Wait, Aaron, can you hear me?
You have to take that into account.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
I actually thought that I lost you for a quick second.
No, it's okay. Like I said, there's just such a putrid system of making decisions that don't benefit the team when the fans and the other people in the organization around them who aren't necessarily making those decisions know the writing's on the wall. This is what you need to do. Do it.
Oh, shout out to Jay Sports, who just was on the show. He said that he would not give balls to Rodgers. Now, I have a question, Jason. If by some miracle we find Naeem's balls, would you trade them to Aaron Rodgers? At least we know that they'll be successful. Oh!
Look, you got to get state. You got to hit his State Farm to insure those balls.
Oh my God! I know that would have gotten a pop from him. Dang it! Oh crap! That would have gotten a huge pop.
The only huge pop that I see is from Naeem's balls.
Oh. Dang. Of course.
Naeem, if you're listening to this, I'm pretty sure you're a good sport, but if not, that's for you. This is the other thing too. There are so many teams in the NFL this past year that have had to quell the injury bug. So in reality, I almost think there are some teams that need to look more into you're playing for who is your backups and your third strings, because with an extra week on the season, you're going to see more injuries and you're really going to be relying more on those contingency players.
Yeah. But that's all I wanted to discuss for Deshaun Watson and I guess for
Russell Wilson.
Yeah, apparently the Russell Wilson trade failed. I don't know. I feel like the Texans, since they really don't. I mean, they like Davis Mills, but I think they
Travis Mills.
Huh?
Travis Mills.
No, his name is Davis. It's Davis Mills.
Either way, yeah, no, they do like him, and I think they've got something good with him if they can one build around him and two develop him.
Yeah, but all right. So let's talk about the combine real quick, because obviously we're talking about rookie quarterbacks. So, I always want to call him Mac Willis, but it's Malik Willis. Malik Willis, Kenny Pickett, and Desmond Ridder were the quarterbacks that stood out to me.
They stood out to me too, actually.
In the combine. If Washington, because I feel like, because at first Malik Willis wasn't gonna go like top 5. But I feel like now he is. Like, I feel like the Lions would be stupid to pass him up, because he's really fast. He has the arm strength, even though. So the tape that I watched of him on the Senior Bowl, I was not impressed. Like, for me, he just kept on either overthrowing or wasn't accurate. But I feel like with the combine, he actually was, and he was pretty speedy.
Pickett actually impressed me with his ability to be able to stand in the pocket even when he's under pressure.
Do you think that, because apparently he has small hands, do you think that would play an effect?
Not necessarily. In fact, I think that the small hands would actually allow him to throw more effortlessly. Like, put more touch on the ball. Like, he would be great when it comes to, like, when he's, when you're throwing deep passes and you want to drop it right into the wide receiver and catch him in stride.
Yeah.
I feel like that's something that he'd be really good at.
But I feel like isn't Kenny Pickett not the arm strength is there, but he's not that mobile. I think he ran like a 4.6 or 4.7.
I think if you go for the right team, like, imagine Kenny Pickett in somewhere like Atlanta, where the offense is built around someone like Matt Ryan, who's a pocket passer anyway.
Yeah.
If you put him in the right system, he can work. And not only that, but the fact that he isn't mobile and doesn't run around as much means he'll be able to protect himself a lot better. So he's a quarterback that, if put in the right system and developed the right way, could have some longevity in the league.
Yeah. But like, where do you see Washington? Here's what I also want to bring up. Washington's being aggressive for veteran quarterbacks, right?
That's something they've been doing.
Should they hold on, let me finish, because there's should they also be aggressive in moving up in the draft? Because right now they're sitting at 11. I'm sorry, but I don't know if the the Senior Bowls and the combines are enough. But I feel like the quarterbacks in this draft class raise their stock high, and if Washington doesn't move up in the draft, because here are the list of teams that are looking for a quarterback at this point. Let me see. The Lions, what's this team's name? I mean, I feel like the Houston Texans, they're comfortable with Davis Mills, unless they have other plans, but who knows?
Maybe the Jets are looking for another quarterback.
No, they have Zach Wilson. Why would they go back to back?
The Chicago Bears, Justin Fields. Denver.
No, and plus, the Bears they traded their first round pick to the Giants.
And
okay. Apparently they're riding with Daniel Jones.
That's not the smartest move, but to each their own.
Yeah. The Broncos probably in the market for a quarterback for a rookie quarterback if they can't find a veteran that suits them.
See, and this is the thing that Washington's been doing for so long is they've been trying to get veterans for so long that by the time a lot of these veterans leave Washington, they're in much worse shape than when they got there.
I mean, here's the thing, though. Like, the rookie quarterbacks they brought in, look, they mishandled RG3. They mishandled Kirk Cousins as well. Dwayne Haskins, trash. Like,
well, he may have some potential now in Pittsburgh if they develop him right.
And that's if they want to bring him back, because he's a free agent.
Oh, yeah, that's true, too. Wow. Didn't think about that. But even then, like, I don't know, man. Maybe he should go to Denver.
I mean, we'll see, but like I said, there are going to be quarterbacks in the obviously in the free agency market and in the draft market. And if Washington wants one of those top, either that or because from what I'm hearing that Desmond Ridder, even though I saw a highlight of him running. Dude, when he ran out he shot out like a cannon.
He shot like a cannon, but again, I mean, if you put a cannon against the wall, the brick wall's not going to move. Some of these guys, he's fast, but is he fast enough to evade getting hit for his entire career? Because for a guy that size, that's what he's going to have to do.
But I feel like Desmond Ridder, unless, again, if teams want to do that, obviously I don't think they would draft him that high. Get a Desmond Ridder in the second round. If they don't land Malik Willis, Kenny Pickett.
Desmond Ridder's a hidden gem.
Or what's the other dude? Matt Corral.
There you go. But see, Desmond Ridder to me is kind of one of those hidden gem quarterbacks. He's somebody that even though you wouldn't get him in an early round, I think that would make him hungry and want to prove himself more.
Jason didn't pop for
balls.
Yeah, basically.
Didn't pop for Nimes balls.
He
wasn't being ballsy about it.
He probably stepped away.
Wah.
He'll probably watch it on the replay.
He'll be ballsy later.
Yeah, I mean, so what other positions? Because I really didn't keep up much. I just kept up with the quarterbacks because that's basically the biggest need for Washington this year. Yes, I know that wide receiver is a need, but I feel like they can address that in free agency and not.
When I look at the wide receivers that are in free agency, I feel like a lot of them that are there are either injury prone or at the later stages of their career.
Yeah,
and that's why I'm saying I almost wonder if they're gonna try to draft somebody.
Yeah, because here's the thing. And here's another thing with the wide receivers right now in free agency, and even if Amari Cooper gets released, I feel like all those wide receivers are gonna sit and wait, or not gonna sit and wait, but they're not. It's not here. Washington's not attractive because they don't have the quarterback set in stone. If they had the quarterback set in stone, they're like, oh, okay. Either I want to be a part of a development project, or they're in win mode now, and I can go there now. I feel like. Yeah,
and that's why I think they're going to gear more towards trying to get a veteran quarterback as opposed to drafting one, because then oh, look, there's already a quarterback in place now. Now I can just go in and insert myself like a puzzle piece.
Basically.
And if I'm looking at it now, when we first talked about Deshaun Watson, I didn't give that much thought. When I see it now, I almost feel like that is the most likely thing to happen. I feel like what could happen is Washington. I would not be surprised if Washington grabs Deshaun Watson and another wide receiver from free agency, somebody that's a budget wide receiver. Then they draft a quarterback and let him back up Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, because Deshaun Watson, I think, has 2 years left on his current deal. So
yeah, but then of course he could also be franchise tagged as well if they wanted to keep him longer.
Yeah. But
which again, I feel like the franchise tag should be done away with in the NFL, but that's just my personal opinion.
Yeah, because paying one person like 35 to 40 mil a year is just and that's just for 1 year. Oh, Aaron, you're cutting out again.
That level. Sorry. Once the franchise tag gets to that level, you can't pay that player anything below that.
Basically,
like it sets a precedent for how much they're worth.
Yeah.
I say get Desmond Ridder and let him back up Deshaun Watson in Washington.
I'll be watching the chat on my Mac very easily, but I mean, I guess we're gonna have to sit and wait for Pro Day, and see what happens there. I mean, that's where more highlights are gonna be coming out. That's if by somehow, because apparently Deshaun Watson does have yeah, Jason, I know, but for some reason, if you're trying to comment or whatever, I don't see it here. The last one I saw was you talking about Aaron Rodgers not coming to Washington. But if you,
it's bad for him and it's bad for Washington.
Yeah. But let me hop onto the YouTube stream on YouTube and see if there's any comments.
I'm going to use the restroom. I'll be right back.
All right, so when Aaron went to the bathroom, so yeah, we'll wait and see, y'all, about the quarterback situation. Like I said, Ron Rivera, it does not give me full confidence at this point that Ron Rivera, even though they're saying that they're exploring all options and they're doing things like that, I don't care. I don't care what people say. They're not going to look for a quarterback. They're not going to trade for a quarterback. In fact, I don't give them credit enough to actually even trade up in the top 5 or top. They're outside the top 10, but I don't see them getting further into the top 10. If they do get inside the top 10, they either got to trade with the Giants, either trade that 5th or 7th with the Giants, which I don't see happening, or trade with a team that has really nothing to gain in the top 10 that are looking for quarterback. But like I said, the majority of that top 10 are looking for the future quarterback. I mean, the only team that I don't think is looking for a quarterback that you could probably trade up with is the Jacksonville Jaguars, who have the number 1 overall pick. I would not, if I were the Jaguars, I would not, even though they already have their quarterback, they can do a lot. They can do a lot with that number 1 pick. So
their defense needs they need to bring back Saxonville.
Basically.
Because Jacksonville is the kind of team where if you can branch off of the fantastic defense that they had a couple years ago, I mean, that's the defense that took them to the AFC Championship game against New England.
Yeah.
And if you could do something like that, you can bring back that, because they lost a lot of key pieces. Like when they lost Jalen Ramsey, they lost the heart and soul of that Saxonville defense.
Yeah, and they try to rebuild it with C.J. Henderson.
It was awful. It was really bad. Like you could literally run right up the teeth. You can still literally run right into the teeth of Jacksonville, and they'll crumble.
Yeah. But all right. So give me 1 second, Aaron. I think we wrapped up the combine and the trade talk. Let me see. Give me 1 second. Let me pull up let me get my notes here, and we'll talk about the free agency more in depth. Just give me 1 second to get my.
You're doing good, brother. Don't even worry. I got your back. I just had to use a restroom. That's why I left. Oh, man. If you come to Florida, beware of the insects that will bite you. I can tell you right now, I've got a total of 10 bites in one area of my leg. Not fun. Oh, man.
All right. Let's hope that Let's hope.
I will hope for the both of us.
Let's hope that this the link wants to cooperate this time.
Yeah, it is kind of a bit temperamental, isn't it? Did we hear anything about if Carson Wentz was staying in Indy?
I think they're waiting for like a deadline, because there are certain deadlines where if they cut him right now, they'll probably suffer more of the cap hit themselves. So I think they're just they're basically gonna wait.
I think they should keep him personally. I think that Indy's the best place for Wentz. And I think I don't think Indy wants to go back to Jacoby Brissett.
I mean, they could be potentially in the market to trade up in the draft, to be honest, if they want.
I mean, if they do that, then you could have somebody like I'm trying to remember the name of the first gentleman you were mentioning, that number 1 overall, that top quarterback you were talking about. Oh gosh, what's his name?
Kenny Pickett?
No, before him.
Malik Willis.
Malik Willis could do well in Indy.
Yeah, because he's mobile.
Yeah,
they
have that athletic offensive line that could really complement him. Like I said, Pickett's a pocket passer. And I think the only time he would actually run is if he needed to. Like if there was no other alternative, and even then he would just maybe run for a couple of yards and slide.
Yeah.
Could you imagine Fitzpatrick in Denver?
My thing is, why would they do that?
Look, you're talking about a team that was it last year, due to COVID protocols, played the New Orleans Saints without a dedicated quarterback and still took them to the limit.
I'm still surprised that happened, actually.
It was crazy. Like they almost had no choice but to do semi-trick plays.
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out how that happened.
I think all they either had quarterbacks that were injured or they were stuck in COVID.
No, they were all like COVID protocol.
Yeah, they were all COVID protocols because they had Flacco, but he couldn't play because of that either.
That was the most funniest thing that I ever saw. I'm like,
well, I honestly, I was impressed more than humored by it. It takes a lot as like a full team to be able to cover up the fact.
And that was with, I don't care if you say this or not, but Drew Brees was still on that team. So,
oh no, I'm agreeing with you. I'm agreeing with you to say that even though it was humorous, it was also very impressive.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it was impressive, especially when Drew Brees was still on that team.
And they had Taysom Hill running gadget plays too.
Basically,
there are some things that happen in the NFL that you just cannot make up.
Like, for example, the Bengals making it to the Super Bowl. Like, no one they made it to the Super Bowl, and we're talking about them trying to get key pieces to get back to the Super Bowl. But you're right. Say that we started this Golden Truth podcast in August or September. Would you have said in August or September, yeah, I can see the Bengals going to a Super Bowl?
They were the motherlode of all surprise teams. They were the frickin' motherlode of all surprise teams. And here's a fact. Like, me being the NFL nerd again, here's the real fact that will stagger you. 40 as of this past Super Bowl, 40 years before that, it was the Bengals and the Niners in the Super Bowl. It very well could have been those two same teams 40 years later.
Oh, true.
How crazy would that have been? Talk about turning back the clock.
Basically,
you could have had this, and that. See, that boggles my mind too, because the Packers and the Steelers did it too, where they were in like what was it? I think that were they Super Bowl one? No, the Packers and the Steelers played in another Super Bowl, a really early one, and then you go all the way back, and then you move it up to 2010, and they're in it against each other again.
You know, I like it. I find it annoying that the website, I finally got it working. I finally find out how to scroll down, how to get rid of all the ads. I'm doing the same exact thing, but now it's not wanting to cooperate. I'm like,
it's temperamental. What do you think about the serendipitousness of the fact that there are some Super Bowls like where you have seen two teams repeat against each other? Like the Giants and the Patriots, they played against each other twice, like in two different Super Bowls.
The Eagles and the Patriots are the same thing. The Rams and the Patriots are the same thing.
Isn't that amazing how some of those things turn out that way?
Basically, but I feel like the Patriots, but in the case of the Patriots and the Eagles, the Patriots and the Eagles and the Patriots and the Rams Super Bowls, they were just different generations. And
yeah, it's true. It's very interesting to me because the other thing that was cool was that the year that the Chiefs had beaten the Niners, that also could have taken place this year and would have had a repeat.
Yeah. We already talked about Allen Robinson, right?
Yeah. Well, not yet. The rumor is. Sorry.
Go ahead.
The rumor is that the Chiefs might be looking to sign him.
Injury prone.
He's injury prone, but if everybody's focusing on Tyreek, he could have a massive raise in productivity.
That is true. All right. What about Chris Godwin if he recovers from his torn ACL?
Chris Godwin, I could see Las Vegas taking him.
Oh, come on, dude. We're talking about Washington here. I don't care about the Vegas Raiders.
But I will say,
would be a viable option for Washington is what I'm saying.
I think he could be. again, it's the same thing I said about Allen Robinson. Everybody's going to be focusing on McLaurin, and he's going to be that guy that could really fit in, that has some durability and could have a raise in productivity and maybe even have a career revitalization.
Yeah. Devontae Adams, we already established that
he's getting franchise tagged by Green Bay.
Let me see.
Hands down, that's what's happening.
All right, there was another one here. Oh, Will Fuller.
Ooh.
If he gets healthy, that's
if he gets healthy,
he would be a nice fit.
He would be, and this is the thing. He's hungrier now because Miami thought that Will Fuller was their answer, and he wasn't. He was having no productivity. He wasn't liking the locker room environment. Washington could have a rare opportunity to offer him a few things that he didn't have when he was over in Miami, which would make him want to stay longer. Not along with having other wide receivers to balance off of.
Yeah.
Jalen Waddle is not a good compliment to him.
I mean, the Dolphins do also have Devontae Parker.
Yeah, well. And I think that that's why they won't miss him.
Yeah.
I think that this is a case of spread the wealth, and maybe Washington could take somebody like a Will Fuller. And
again, it's saying that he stays healthy because he has problem staying.
Yeah. Saying that he stays healthy. Well, and this is the thing. I think he's got. Have you ever heard of big dog syndrome?
No.
So a small dog thinks that they're a big dog, so they go after and try to fight big dogs. And when a big dog puts them down,
Yeah, they're humbled. Yeah.
Yes, and I think Will Fuller's got big dog syndrome.
Yeah. All right. Speaking of, because I know we spoke about this guy earlier, Jamison Crowder, do you see him returning to Washington? Because here's the thing. I feel like and there's a little backstory to this. Last year, Washington was actually entertaining the idea, if the Jets were to cut Jamison Crowder, they may have had interest in bringing him back, or there was potential interest in trading for him. Do you think that after, I think he's like 3 or 4 years away, do you think that it's plausible for him to come back to Washington? Because I know that when we had let's say we have Terry McLaurin here. We have Terry McLaurin, Jamison Crowder could be a good guy in the slot, and then maybe we can give De'Ami Brown or a Curtis Samuel another shot. That would be a good, whoever the third wide receiver is going to be a good trio. Because you remember when Jamison Crowder was here, he had Pierre Garçon and what's this dude's name? Deshaun Jackson, and that trio was deadly. Like Kirk Cousins had a field day.
Well, and honestly, like as good as I used to think Kirk Cousins was, it was because of that wide receiving core that he even had the kind of year he had in the first place. Jamison Crowder provides something that Washington is desperately lacking, and that is versatility. And I've made this argument from beginning to end. I think the way that you give Curtis Samuel another shot. I think that Washington could have been using Jamison Crowder like Ty Montgomery was used in Green Bay. Use him in the running game as well.
Yeah, because he was really good in the slot. Like, I feel like the old regime was just like when Bruce Allen and Jay Gruden, when they needed to re-sign dudes, they didn't do it. And as much crap as I give Ron Rivera, at least he re-signs dudes. Like, he re-signed Charles Leno, the left tackle. They re-signed Jonathan Allen. I think they're waiting on the whole entire Terry McLaurin thing, because Terry McLaurin's waiting for the quarterback situation to be settled. But if Washington plays their cards right and gets that quarterback, I can see them re-signing Terry McLaurin. I can see them re-signing Montez Sweat. And I honestly, if Jamison Crowder says, you know what, it's a new regime, let me try this, I honestly see him coming back to Washington.
Do
That's
you
only
do you think in his current mindset, do you think he wants to come back? Because I think it's like we talk about.
the Jets gave him a 3-year deal, and for what? Like
Maybe
he went from one joke of a franchise to another.
Well, and this is the thing. Like he could look and basically say, I thought the grass was greener, and it doesn't appear to be greener on the other side. Let me go back to what I know, and try to succeed there.
Yeah.
And I think that very well could be likely. If anything, I think that might even be more likely than bringing Fuller in.
Yeah. But
again, it comes down to Jamison Crowder's mentality.
Yeah. Does he want to try this again?
That's the big thing. And I think that if Washington is to bring him back, they need to make him even more prominent than he was in his first run. And that's what I mean when I say let him return kicks, let him catch passes, and then if he wants to be, let him give some relief to Antonio Gibson in the running game, and you can run him like Ty Montgomery was run when he was in Green Bay.
Or the Debo, technically the Debo Samuel.
Yes, thank you. It's the same thing though. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
With that type of skill set that the team has, if you were to bring back a Crowder, you could take some of the pressure off of Antonio Gibson and Terry McLaurin by getting the ball in Crowder's hands more often.
Yeah. But here's another wide receiver. I want to get your thoughts on this guy, Juju Smith-Schuster.
No, I don't think that's likely at all, actually. I think that his skill set is he is. I think being a part of being with Pittsburgh, I think that him going to Washington, I think he would consider it to be a step down, and I don't think he would do it.
It really depends on what the Steelers are going to do this year, because they've had Big Ben for so long.
The best they have right now is Mason Rudolph
and Dwayne Haskins. if they.
Well, I honestly I don't see Haskins staying in Pittsburgh personally, but I could see Haskins going to Detroit or Denver.
All right, AJ Green.
AJ Green, again, too high profile. I don't see it being possible. I think the cap space that Washington has, they wouldn't be able to afford him.
No, because Washington is like the top 5 team with salary cap space. So money's not going to be an issue, especially if they cut Landon Collins. Like I wouldn't want Landon Collins to be cut, but if it means more money in Washington's pockets, I'm sorry.
I don't see it happening. I also think that it goes back to the establishment of a quarterback. Washington needs to do that before.
AJ Green suffered through Andy Dalton for like a decade, and he suffered through Stuart Little for a year. Like
he did, but maybe his mindset is, I'm done suffering. I want established order. I want something that I can work with.
That is true. Good point. This dude, I don't even know who I've only seen highlights. Keelan Cole.
Keelan Cole, he was a long-time Charger. That's where his talents showed through.
No, he was a long-time Jaguars from what I saw him. Like
I saw him a lot opposite of Keenan Allen in LA or in San Diego when they were in San Diego. And he actually was very versatile. He could do in the slot, he could do go routes, but the thing that hampered him is he is not as physical at the line as he should be. I think that he's more durable than he realizes, and I think that if he's put in an offense where he can show that off. I think that he is an excellent budget wide receiver, and I think that's likely.
I mean, and then we have the what about the Zach? Oh my God, what this is? How do you pronounce
Pascal?
this? Yeah, Pascal, whatever.
I don't think that's likely.
Zach Pascal, Albert Wilson is a name here. I don't even know who that is.
No.
Like, I don't even know who. Like, all I know is that he was a part of the Kansas City Chiefs team that choked against the Tennessee Titans the first time in that playoff game. Matthew Slater, are you kidding me?
No.
No. Let me see. Let me see if there's any more like big names. Oh, come on. Zay Jones,
Nope.
Nice cheap option.
Yes, that very, very good budget wide receiver. If that's the way Washington wants to go, very similar to Keelan Cole in that way.
Yeah, because he actually played very well in Las Vegas this past year.
Well, and that's the thing. Derek Carr, there's two kinds of quarterbacks that play in the league, and there's quarterbacks that need players around them to be good, but then there are other quarterbacks that are just so good that they make stars out of what's around them.
Yeah. Rashard Higgins. He's more of a number 3, not a number 2.
I actually could see. I think Cleveland would be likely to pick him up. Then
yeah, Cleveland's gonna pick him up.
Yeah, I think so.
Let me see.
I think they need him desperately.
Yeah, Jakeem Grant. No.
No.
I mean, who is that? Like, really?
No. It's just not a good fit for his skill set.
Come on. I mean, I get it working. Oh, Cedric Wilson. That's if Dallas doesn't re-sign the dude if they let go of Amari Cooper.
No, if they let go of Amari Cooper, they're bringing back Cedric Wilson. They're not going to let them both go. That would be asinine.
Basically.
Oh
Byron Pringle. I'm not too impressed with what I saw from Byron Pringle.
He's not durable either.
Yeah. Cam Sims.
No.
I like him as he steps up when he needs to. He stepped up when he needed to. I say yes, bring him on yet another cheap deal because he stepped up when he needed to. When Washington was missing the Curtis Samuels and the De'Ami Browns of the world, Cam Sims was there to make big catches. So I'd say bring him back on a cheap deal.
Yeah, maybe like a 2-year deal. Give him more than just a year to actually prove himself.
Yes. Let me see. Come on. Low. Come on. Get fast. Go. No.
Technology, huh?
I know, right? Deshaun Jackson. No, he's too old.
Nope. Too old and also too hot-headed.
Yes.
I think he's getting to the later stages of his career.
Yeah. Danny Amendola, no.
Like in his heyday, Amendola would have been a great choice because I think he definitely has that locker room leader type style, but I think he's lost that over the years.
Josh Reynolds. I mean,
nope.
he was really solid for the Lions this past year, but no.
No. The Lions need all the help they can get. They're not going to give anybody up.
Chris Conley. Okay, so we're getting into territory where there would be just random ass wide receivers that are going to be here for cheap deals, and we're not doing that. Let me see. How far have we gotten into the stream? Because we've been here for a while.
Yes, we have. It's like close to 10:30. I am enjoying the conversation, though. Don't get me wrong. Do you see the Lions getting rid of Jared Goff? Like if they're able to find somebody better.
I mean, Jared Goff. Like I feel like if the Rams would choked that in that NFC divisional round against the Buccaneers, that dude would have been grinning from ear to ear.
Yes, he would have. I definitely agree that he would have. I definitely agree that he would have. Say what you will, though, but it does say a lot about Matthew Stafford that he couldn't do jack with Detroit, and then he goes to L.A. and wins a ring. He's a good quarterback. He just needed a team around him.
Oh wow! Talk about 2-hour streams. My goal is always to have at least an hour and a half, but when it goes 2 hours and things like that, I feel like I'm gonna lose viewership. But I mean, this is free agency frenzy, so we're running down some wide receivers and tight ends. Let's see if my thing is gonna want to cooperate and want me to switch over to the tight end list real fast.
Does Washington run a 2 tight end set?
I
don't think so.
I don't know.
There's very few teams that run an authentic 2 tight end set like New England did when they had Gronkowski and Hernandez on the same team. Because it's very hard to run 2 tight ends like that and do it effectively. So yeah, I'm curious to see.
Come on. And of course, this thing, when I refreshed it, it froze on me.
Man, the NFC West is always going to be competitive.
I feel like the NFC West and there's that other division. There's other divisions.
The AFC North.
Yeah, I feel like those are going to be the two.
It says a lot that almost every single year you almost border on having 3 teams in each of those divisions in the playoffs.
Yeah, because last year was like what? Last year it was the Ravens, the Steelers, and the Browns.
And then this year
was the
Cardinals, the Niners, and the Rams. But of course, the Cardinals went out in the wild card to San Francisco.
No.
No. It was to L.A.
Yeah.
To the Rams.
All right. Let's see. Are you gonna want to update? Come on.
I always feel bad for because there are instances of teams that when players win the Super Bowl and then they become free agents right afterwards, and you're thinking, oh well, maybe the team will want to keep the Super Bowl squad together, and then they just don't, and it hurts them the next year. And that's what I feel like that's why I was mentioning the whole Jesse Bates thing, because if for some reason Cincinnati didn't keep him, even though I get that they didn't win, but they still made it to the Super Bowl, which is further than they've ever made it in the past 34 years.
Yeah.
And the fact that they would even consider not re-signing Jesse Bates, to me, is kind of a douche move.
I mean, they probably franchise tagged the dude to see if they can work out a long-term deal.
I guess, but again, it goes to that same thing. You're setting a precedence where in a year or two, you're not going to be able to afford the guy because you've already set his value.
Oh, yeah, good point.
There was an interview that he did on NFL Network where, I mean, I think he could be an exception to this rule only because there is a degree of comfort in it for him, considering that he's got family in the area anyway.
Mm-hmm.
He talked about how his mom and his whole family was there. So if it was not about the money and it was about, keeping his routine alive, then maybe he would stay with Cincy. But again, it's interesting to me that they still haven't worked out a deal yet.
Yeah.
He's somebody that I'm keeping a close eye on because I feel like with what he's done this year and the productivity that he's had, if he capitalizes on it by going to the right team, whether it's Cincinnati or somebody else, he could have a bright future.
Yeah. But All right, so the website decided to freeze on me, and it froze my technology as well.
Of course.
So this is what we'll do. Since next week we'll wrap up free agency talk, since free agency will be I actually misread it, so it's March 16th on a Wednesday is
That's when it ends.
or when it starts actually. But since
Gotcha.
I have to go to school on Wednesdays, I won't be able to. I'll probably do if I can, if the internet over there at the school doesn't disconnect me or whatever, because the school Wi-Fi is actually kind of crappy. I'll probably do videos while I'm at school before class, but if not, look for videos on Thursday. But we will be finishing up the free agency frenzy next Tuesday. Again, like I said, guys, the reason why we are doing it on a Monday night instead of, especially late Monday night, because we started at 8 p.m., was because Aaron had something to do. I wanted to be flexible with his schedule. Tomorrow, I will be doing another YouTube collaboration on someone else's channel. So that's why we set up the special time. Aaron, I know that usually I would ask this before or at the beginning of your show. What have you published on your podcast, and what is coming up before we wrap up? So you have your closing remarks.
So this past Sunday, I did do a stream talking about FOMO and Ukraine.
Yeah, I saw that. By the way, that was actually pretty good.
Well, and my nephew was the example, because one thing that's very interesting is whenever we tell him to brush his teeth and go to bed, he's afraid that he's going to miss something that's going on in the house, whether there's some sort of hustle and bustle going on.
Yeah.
And it's so funny that we as a society attribute fear of missing out to social media and the use of devices, when in reality it's so ingrained in us from a young age that it probably should be attributed to a different stimuli. And there's that. And then I talked a little bit about the Ukraine stuff. I didn't want to go too serious where I was trying to take a stand one way or the other. I just think that my whole point with that talk was to say we're punishing individual citizens, and I get that there's no other way to really, send a message of what you're for, but you really should try to focus your punishments and your sanctions and seizing of assets as close to the political elite as you can, as opposed to punishing individual citizens. But that's what I talked about. It's literally, the whole episode is called FOMO/Ukraine.
Yeah. Again, it was actually a pretty good episode. So guys, just make sure you guys check out Faxman's Musings. The link is in the description below. What's coming up this week, or have you not decided yet?
So I'm going to try to do the Cirque d'Italia review. I've been trying to do that for a couple of weeks, but things have been coming up where I just kind of got burnt out one week, and then a lot of people have been asking my opinion on the Ukraine situation, and I thought that yesterday was as good a time as any to just address it and get the serious stuff out of the way so we could get to the fun stuff in future episodes.
Okay, so Cirque d'Italia conversation should be scheduled this week. But like I said, y'all, make sure you guys also check out his Facebook page or Facebook group or whatever it is. Again, the link is down there, so you guys can chime in
if you want
ideas.
Yeah.
Make sure you drop him a like and things like that. But what's coming up for my channel tomorrow, y'all? Tuesday. Not only am I doing another YouTube collaboration on someone else's channel, but I will be previewing more soccer because I've been focusing heavy on the soccer with Real Madrid. So that's coming up tomorrow. I'm going to preview them taking on PSG on Wednesday. So that's coming up. And then if any breaking news Washington-wise, obviously I'm going to be covering that. So, but alrighty, y'all. This was the Golden Truth Podcast, episode 5. Again, longer than what I want it to be, but in different circumstances, had to change things on the fly. Brought in Jason for a good hour, and then Aaron and I we talk some free agency. But next week we are going to wrap up the free agency talk. But alrighty, y'all. That's it for us. If you're watching on Twitch, thank you very much. First cross stream. Let me know what y'all think. Make sure you guys hit that sub button on YouTube if you're watching me on YouTube, and if you're new to my channel, give me a like. Until then, guys, we're out of here.